What's going on, everybody? What is going on? How's everybody doing today on this Monday afternoon, the 12th of January, 2021? This is another episode of the Will Sports Show. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We got a lot to dive into today. A lot, ladies and gentlemen. I'm definitely going to be talking about the playoff games in the NFL, this Super Wild Card weekend. Definitely gonna chime in on the Knicks. They, fell back to earth these last two games on Friday and on Sunday. Excuse me. Definitely also gonna talk about. Also want to touch base on Kyrie Irving and what he's doing. I got my opinion on that. Let's get right into it, man, because we got a lot to do. I want to start with the playoffs. Um, I made my predictions last week, and I was 4-2, so not bad. I was 4-2. The only two I got wrong was the Browns beating up on the Steelers, and also the Rams beating up on the Seahawks. And we're gonna start with the Cleveland Browns. How about them Browns? I mean, what? I'm sure I'm not the only one. I was stunned. Up 28-0 in the first quarter. And we all was like, listen, if they don't win this game, then they're definitely cursed. Um, First playoff appearance since 2002, first playoff win since 1994, when they beat when Bill Belichick was coaching the Browns, and um, you know Bill Parcells was coaching the Patriots in that playoff game. And this is the Cleveland Browns' first road playoff victory since 1969. Just unbelievable performance by them, and you got to give them props. I mean, for them to be on the road, underdogs. Their head coach wasn't coaching because of COVID. They had some players tested positive for COVID, and it started out real quick with the snap going over Ben Roethlisberger's head, and the Browns recovering for a touchdown. That started the floodgates from there. Just much respect to the Browns. I did not expect them to win this game. I'm not shocked that they won. I'm just shocked how they won. The Steelers made a late run, but all in all, they did what they had to do, the Cleveland Browns, and they found a way to win, man. And it's on to the Chiefs now. And I'm saying right now, if the Browns find a way to beat the Chiefs, they might as well go all the way to the Super Bowl. So just a great effort by the Browns, man. I give them much respect. I didn't, like I said, I did not expect them to win that game. The Steelers just look flat. After starting out 11-0, man, they just wasn't looking the same, and it continued this game. Ben Roethlisberger had a good game, he had a bad game, but majority of the yards and the completions he had was because they was behind. So when you behind by that much, you gotta throw the ball, and they did with Cleveland did it just enough to win the game, and it's on to Kansas City for them. So that was a great win by the Browns. Much respect. We'll see what happens next week. The Bills, good for them as well. They first playoff victory since 1994. They had some fans in the stands, so it was just great for them to find a way to win. It was a good game. The Colts, gave an effort, but like I said, I just didn't see the Bills losing this game. I'm not shocked that it was close. With the fans and the Bills being at home. It was a little controversial call at the end. It should have been a fumble for Indianapolis, but they still let them continue on in that last drive. But the Bills prevailed and they survived, and they get another home game next week. So they just it's a lot of droughts that have been broken, for these teams. They're gonna play the Ravens. I had a feeling the Ravens was gonna win the game against the Titans. I just feel like I always said, teams that had a great year before and they got knocked out in the first round, for some reason, majority of the time they come back the next year, struggle, and then late they find they peak and then they find a way to win. So Don't be surprised if Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, make a run at this. I won't be surprised if they beat the Bills. And that's just how it is. Teams that get hot late, after struggling in the playoffs the year before, they just find a way to make a run. So, I actually think the Ravens are going to win only because of that nature. I could be wrong, but I think that they're going to find a way to win that game as well. But kudos to Lamar Jackson. He finally got his first playoff win. So, they did what they had to do. They did just enough. He did a spectacular run to tie the game. They did what they had to do to win the game. And, they're on to Buffalo. Seattle, they showed heart. I'm sorry, the Rams, they showed heart and beat Seattle. The starting quarterback of the Rams get hurt, put in back Jared Goff, who obviously was originally the starter, with that broken thumb, and they just found a way to win. Their defense was incredible, so I don't know what happened to Seattle. I think ever since, my Giants beat them, I think a lot of teams has found weakness in, the Seattle, Seahawks offense. So, I thought Seattle was going to win. Maybe if the fans was there, it would have helped out. But, that wasn't the case. So, the Rams, they play hard, man. And Aaron Donald got nicked up as well. Hopefully he's okay. They're going to need him because, they're playing against the Packers at Lambeau. So, hopefully, everybody for the Rams is healthy enough to win that game. Saints, they, not surprisingly, beat up on the Bears. I thought the Saints was going to score more points, but they did just enough to win. The Bears' offense is horrible, as we all know. So, they didn't do anything. You can't just score 9 points and expect to beat the Saints. So, that's not a surprise there. Another, that's not a surprise as well, is Tampa Bay beating up on. I want to say beating up on Redskins. It was actually a heck of a game. The quarterback for the Redskins, Heineke, that nobody, knew about. He played a hell of a game, man. It was actually fun to see. It's always good to see a guy that comes out of nowhere and is a backup player, or just, nobody expect him to do well and comes out of nowhere and just plays well. It would have been really crazy if he had found a way to beat Tom Brady, but he did his part. But Tampa Bay was just too much. Brady, I think this is his 31st career playoff win, by far the most in NFL history. It was just too much. It was just too much. And Tampa Bay did what they were supposed to do and win the game. Now it's Brady versus Breeze Part 3. The Saints beat them in the first game of the season. They crushed them the second game of the season. So, now we will see what happens at round 3. So it should be a hell of a game. And it was just a great weekend in all. Football, the extra games, for each day, was great. And it was very good. It was very good. The divisional matchups should be great. It's always, divisional round is always great. They call it the best weekend in football, and I think it will be. It's really going to be some intriguing games, going on. But all in all, it was a great first weekend of playoff football. Like I said, I went 4-2, so I'm gonna make my predictions, for the divisional round right quick. I think Green Bay is gonna beat the Rams. Aaron Rodgers, like I said, is on a mission. I don't see the Rams beating them at Lambeau in the cold. If Jared Goff is gonna start, I don't think he's not healthy enough with his thumb. And if that quarterback does come back for the Rams, which he was actually hospitalized, don't know any word, don't have a word on him. But either way, I think Rams are gonna lose the game against the Packers. Just Green Bay is just too much. Aaron Rodgers, had a week to rest in the cold at Lambeau. I don't see the Rams beating the Packers at all. The Ravens and the Bills, like I said, I just have a feeling the Ravens are going to make a run, man. I just really feel like they're going to find a way and beat the Bills. I mean, Buffalo's a great story. It'll be really nice for Buffalo to go to the AFC Championship game for the first time since '93. But I just have a feeling that the Ravens are going to find a way to win. But I could be wrong because the Bills' offense is great, but the Ravens' defense is great too. And Lamar Jackson is always dangerous with his legs. But that should be a great game. I don't see that game being a blowout. Whoever wins that game, the Browns and the Chiefs. Like I said, until I actually see it, I gotta go with the Chiefs winning that game. By all means, this will be a great season for the Browns. But I'm sure Browns fans is not trying to hear that either. All the Browns are so. But listen, you never know. This could be one of these years where, the Browns just magically make a run and find a way. Nobody ain't expecting to beat the Steelers, so you never know. But until I actually see somebody beat Mahomes and that offense, I don't see the Chiefs losing that game. And then I got the Bucks and the Saints. Man, it's a tough one. It's really a tough one. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. I think Brady is not gonna let Drew Brees beat him, twice. I mean 3 times. I think out of all the ones, that's the toughest one for me. I don't know, but I'll say Tampa Bay is going to win barely. So that would be, if that's the case, it would be the Packers and the Bucks, and that Brady versus Rodgers. I mean, the NFC Championship game, that would be crazy. And it'll be the Ravens and the Chiefs. And if the Ravens play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, how much pressure is going to be on the Ravens? Always losing to the Chiefs in a big spot. So, that's my predictions for the NFL, for the playoffs. See what happens. But like I said, it was a great weekend of football, and let's go on to the divisional round and see what's going on. Doug Peterson got fired today for the Eagles. That to me is kind of a surprise, but honestly, I think what happened in that last game of the season just really stemmed to him losing his job. So that's another job opening. Are the Jets gonna be willing to, interview Doug Peterson and give him a shot? I mean, I would. At the end of the day, the man has a Super Bowl ring. You can't take that away from him. That's not a fluke. He beat Brady and the Patriots to get it. So, he's made the playoffs, a couple of times now, 3 times in his career. So, he's got 2 division championships. So, he's gonna get a job. It's a lot of job openings. He's gonna get a job. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You don't have a resume like that and not get a job right away. So somebody's gonna hire him. I know Joe Douglas, the general manager of the Jets, and Doug Peterson, they used to work together. So, that could be something to look out for. I don't know if they're going to go that direction, but we'll see. But yeah, Doug Peterson did get fired today. And it's just crazy. You'll never want anybody to lose their job, but once you seen that he was talking to the owner, having meetings, you kind of knew that it was going to be, it was probably going to be some trouble going on. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. See what happens with the coaching carousel, going on. So, want to move into basketball. So I want to talk about the Knicks right quick. Just a great start, 5-3. They 5-5 now. They play Charlotte tonight. And I'm sorry, this is a must-win. You're playing the Nets on Wednesday. You got to find a way to win this game. I know the Hornets are not bad, I believe they're 4-4. Gotta find win this game. Should have never lost to OKC in the first place. You know you was playing Denver on Sunday. I'm not surprised that they got smacked by Denver. But if they had beaten OKC, then the Denver loss wouldn't have been that bad. So it was just a bad weekend. And if you had told me that the Knicks would have been 5-5 after 10 games, I would have been like good. But to be 5-3 playing an OKC team that you could have beaten and then lose to Denver, 5-5. That 5-5 is not good. It should be at least 6-4 going to this game tonight. They're not. We'll see what happens. Just got word not too long ago that Reggie Bullock is out, so that the injuries just keep on going. I don't know. Most likely he's gonna start Knox at the 3. It's just really, really crazy going on with these injuries. But let's just see, man. Hopefully the Knicks can man up and win tonight, because it's a big one on Wednesday against the Nets. I just feel like the Knicks, man, the last 2 games, they've been back to the same old Knicks. The offense has been horrible. Nobody's scoring like that. Julius Randle's still doing his thing. But they need a shooter on this team, man. They need, especially in the starting lineup, they need a shooter on this team. Somebody that's going to break down the defense. Because, everybody's going to keep on doing zone against this Knicks team. Because they can't shoot. So they got to find a way to score some points. They do. And you kind of knew at that game on Sunday that it was not going to be pretty. They wasn't scoring. They wasn't playing good defense. So hopefully tonight they could snap out of it. You don't want to start going. You don't want to do something like winning 3 games in a row and losing 3 games in a row. You don't want to get long losing streaks going after you win some games. You don't want to go back down to 500. So let's try to get this win tonight, Knicks, please, and let's do what we got to do and find a way to beat Charlotte. And Wednesday's the big one against the Nets. So, that needs to be, the Knicks need to just find a way to win this game, shoot better, continue to play defense, playing against, LaMelo Ball tonight. Let's just see. Let's see what happens. Hopefully the result could be better than it was the last 2 games. And pretty much that's about it. And speaking of the Nets, I want to dive in about what Kyrie Irving is doing right now. And in all honesty, it's pissing me the hell off. First and foremost, we understand why Kyrie is not playing right now. And by all means, I do not blame him for feeling this way. What's going on in the country, what happened in D.C., with them, barging the Capitol, what happened, we said with Breonna Taylor. I don't blame him at all for feeling that way. That being said, for you to sit there and not communicate with your coach, cannot communicate with your organization of what's going on, man. To me, it's just disrespectful. You don't want to work, pretty much, because it's a privilege to be in the NBA. There's not that many openings, meaning slots and teams to be in an NBA roster. There's only 15 of them. And for you to be a star player, and by all means, Kyrie Irving is a great player. I'm never taking anything away from Kyrie Irving. Top 5 point guard in the NBA. He is a great player. He has a ring. He earned a ring, with LeBron. He hit the game-winning shot in 2016 against the Warriors. But I just can't stand his mentality. Now, hopefully nothing mentally is going on with him. We don't want to wish that on anybody. We don't know. We're just going by what he's saying and what's going on. So it's just amazing how he feels like he could do whatever the hell he wants, and he could just come back and go and join his team whenever he's ready. So you mean to tell me, like, if I didn't want to work and I didn't tell and I just didn't feel like coming in, I'll be okay too. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. His mentality is horrible. You're making $30 million a freaking year. You should find a way to get on the court and play. And I'm just tired of these star players having this prima donna attitude. It's just sickening. You're going to sit there and not show up. Your teammates is battling and playing, especially what's going on with COVID and everybody getting tested almost every day, putting everything on the line to play. And now, since you've been out, they've been 1-2. It's just sickening. It's embarrassing, man. And I'm sorry if the Nets need to show some you know what, and they need to find him or suspend him whenever he feels like playing again. They're probably not, because he's a star player. The Nets are not used to having star players like this, so let him do what he got to do. But no, you need to send a message. I guarantee if Joe Harris or Caris LeVert did this, y'all would have been up on their ass about this. It's just sickening, man. Feel like he could do whatever the hell he want to do and show up whenever he wants to show up. Kevin Durant, you know what I'm saying, look what he had to go through. He didn't have any he couldn't play because of, you know, COVID protocol. He came back, dropped 36 points even though they lost. He should be mad as hell. Like, yo, my man, we supposed to be doing this together. But because the Nets and they, you know, they don't get much attention, and now they got stars, it's all right. I guarantee you, if he was on the Knicks and he'd been pulling this, it would have been a whole big thing, a huge thing. It's just, I'm just tired of it, man. 3 games you ain't played. All you had to is tell your coach, like, look, what's going on? I feel like I'm not in the right mood to play. You would have understood that. But for you to not just show up, it's not right. Everybody goes through stuff. Everybody doesn't want to feel like working. Everybody, you know, doesn't feel like in the right frame of mind to work. But you call your employee and be like, look, this is what's going on. I can't come in. It goes for the same thing for you. He's just annoying. He should be ashamed of himself. And I'm sorry, if I'm on that team, and I'll be pissed off too. Like, yo, my man, you are one of the star players on this team. You supposed to be riding with us. Like, yeah, I understand what's going on, but yo, come on. When are you gonna come back? Are you ever gonna come back? It's just sad, man. It really is sad, and it's a disgrace. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh no, it's all right. But again, I'm saying it again. The reason why he's not playing, I totally understand. But at the same time, you have to sit here and realize, like, yo, what's at stake. You didn't want to talk to the media at the beginning of the year. Now you know when you come back, you're gonna have to talk to the media. What, you're not gonna talk to the media? Probably not. You're making damn near $30 million a year, even a little bit more than that, and you playing and you acting like this? Come on, man. You got people out there that's their businesses is gone because of what's going on with COVID. You got people struggling for jobs, looking for jobs. You got people that even is working and struggling, and you want to be a spoiled brat and be like, oh, I'm not playing. And then you don't even come out and say nothing. I'm sick of him. And you know, I already can't stand the Nets as it is. I'm just glad, as much as he's a great player, I'm glad that the Knicks don't have him. Because can you imagine if he was on the Knicks with this headache? There's some words I want to say, but I can't say it because it's a family show. But it's just really sickening, man, what he's doing right now. I just don't even know what to say. Um, just right quick, national championship game is on tonight as well. I think Alabama's gonna find a way to win. They this is one of these years Alabama's just dominating. I don't see Ohio State beating them. So I think Alabama's gonna find a way to win. We'll see what happens. Could be wrong. Ohio State could pull off the upset, but I see Alabama winning pretty much. But that's all I have for today, guys. Hope you guys have a good day. I will definitely speak to you guys soon. You have a good day. Stay safe.